This video is an overview of Pivot Assessments reporting. To navigate to your Pivot Assessments reports, you will hover over Daily Assessments and select Reports. To select a report, you'll click in the drop-down menu and select your desired report. The first one that we'll look at today is the Student Benchmarks Results. At the top here, there are a few filters such as school year in the building, and some optional filters such as grade level, maybe a specific teacher or class. If you've created a group within our data warehouse or within assessments, you can view that group of students here. And then you will need to select your test type. Do you just want to view benchmark assessments? Would you like to view class assessments or both? For the sake of this demo, I will select benchmark assessments and then I'll click filter, but you can also export your data if you would like. Your district can choose how these categories of performance are identified and color-coded by changing that percentage there at the top. And then as you scroll down, you'll see your report start to populate. Beginning on the left, every student's name is listed in alphabetical order. And almost any time you see a column of data in Pivot, you can click the column header and it will sort the data low to high or high to low. So I just selected the first orange benchmark there and sorted it low to high first. And now I can sort it high to low by clicking on that column header one more time. This report helps me take the temperature and see very broadly how many students are in each category of performance for each assessment. The next report that we will select is the Standards Mastery Report. So I can find that there again at the top. I will want to select the correct school year, the building. I can also add additional filters such as grade, teacher, class, or group. But the great thing about this report is that you can pick which test you would like to go into the calculations for Standards Mastery. If you want to see how students performed on standards earlier in the year, you may want to select Benchmark 1. If you want to see only the most recent mastery, then you may select Benchmark 3. And if you want to see an aggregation of their performance across the school year, you may want to select all of the assessments that have been given. And then I'll click Filter. Once I've selected my filters there, I get this great table of information. The Standards Mastery Report provides information on both class level and individual standards mastery. For each standard assessed on the selected assessments, an average of the student's cumulative performance is displayed. Hovering over a cell will reveal the number of questions used to calculate the average that went into that percentage. At the top of this table, you'll get the standard code, and when you hover over that code, you can view the full language of that standard. I can see how the class has done on that standard and their individual results. We recommend using this report to identify opportunities for individual remediation, group students strategically for future instructional activities, and evaluate which skills should be retaught prior to a follow-up assessment opportunity. Once again, I can click to sort this data, low to high or high to low. By doing that, I can quickly identify that Sophie, Lena, and Navia are in the red, and they have some real urgent need around this standard. I can see that Alex, Daryl, and Derek are in the yellow and may need more practice, and perhaps the rest of my students are ready to move on for enrichment or to take it to a different DOK level. I can also print individual standards mastery reports. So to do that, you would select the student's name or multiple students you would like to view that for and select print. You can see here I have a list of each standard that has been assessed and the overall average on all of the standards so far for that student. You can think of this as a rough equivalent to mastery of course content. These individual standards mastery reports could be great for parent-teacher conferences, case conferences, student portfolios, or helping students set goals. The next report that we will look at is called Item Level Analysis. For this report, you do have to select one assessment at a time, but the rest of the filters are exactly the same. So I will select my school year, my building, and my chosen assessment, and click Filter. At the top of this report, you will see each question number. If a question number is in red, that means fewer than 50% of your class got it correct. The green box below your question number will reveal your standards that were tied to that question. So I can see there the Indiana standard and language. I can see the item type. This question was multiple choice, DOK level, the correct answer or answer choices. If it was an inline text question and they had to type a response, you can click on that green paper there to see that the student had to type the number 12 to get that question correct. I can see how many students got that question correct out of the total amount of students who took the assessment and the percentage for each question. Teachers can really go through and tell a story about how students did on each test and what mistakes may have been tripping them up. You can see examples of skipped questions by finding any question box that would have the word skipped in it, and that would help you monitor for things such as test fatigue or lack of attention. Using this information, you can consider small group or whole group reteaching, and then use the Pivot Assessments item bank to craft short formative assessments on the same skills to reassess student proficiency. And the last report we'll look at today is Review and Reteach. We'll select our school year and building and the assessment that we would like to view and click Filter. The Review and Reteach report provides insights into why students likely selected the wrong answers. In other words, distractor rationales are included for most item types. Uncovering the misconceptions that are impacting student achievement is the goal of this report. Here at the top, I have the question number in standard alignment. I can see some additional information such as item type, Bloom's, DOK. I have the question preview. How do you write 3/5 as a percent? And I can see that C, 60%, was the correct answer. Over on the right side, I have each answer choice, the percentage of students who chose that answer, and that likely reason or distractor rationale for why they picked the wrong answer. If you don't click the percentages to reveal the students' names, there is nothing that is identifiable. Some teachers might project this for the class and talk through the test together. If you would like to reveal those student names, you would just simply click on that percentage there, and those would appear. I think that this is the most powerful for teachers. It gives them a talking point right away to think about remediation and what conversations you want to have with your group of students. We recommend using this report to plan small group remediation that directly addresses misconceptions and common errors. Consider using the Pivot Assessment Item Bank to craft short formative assessments on target skills to reassess student proficiency. I hope you agree that you have a great deal of information here to help you plan remediation and enrichment perhaps, but really zero in on what instruction is needed for specific standards and item types. Remember that you can always get more help from our knowledge base. You can click the question mark in the top right corner of your screen. From here, you can access our Pivot Assessments Playbook, which has all of our essential user guides. You can also reach our support team by requesting Pivot help or by contacting us through phone or email. Please let us know how we can continue to support you and your team. We look forward to talking with you soon.